Hi everyone, I'm Angela Graham, and today we're going to do a neat little forest painting. I'm starting out with a black canvas and using titanium white just to put in the ideas of trees. You want it to be a little bit higher in the middle, but just keep adding them until your forest looks full. Okay, so we've got lots of trees done in there. We're going to go ahead and make a light spot in the middle to give the impression of the moon, or maybe a sun rising in the distance. You're going to use titanium white, a little bit watered down, and just do crisscross strokes as long as you want it to be. So you can spread it out further than I'm doing if you want it to be a lighter painting. Okay, now we've got a nice lighter spot that the sun will be coming up or the moon will be in, and we're going to have to go back over and draw dark trees over the lighter area. So take some midnight black, and I'm still using just a straight brush. Sorry, I don't think I said that. And just put them in however you want them to be. It'll show up better with them dark where it is light. Okay, so we've got all the trees and the white background in. We're going to start to mix up some phthalo blue with water, and we're going to cover the whole canvas in it. Make it a nice even thin coat starting at the top corners to make them a little bit darker. And I'm using my small fan brush now to do this part. It's important that you add quite a bit of water to the paint so it isn't opaque. It will stay more translucent if you thin it out with water. Yeah, we're going to cover the whole canvas with blue. Now I'm just going to define out a little edge for the water, and with a little thin titanium white line on any of the edges that you'd see, gives the impression of water very easily. And now I'm using titanium white again and pulling down from the edges where you just drew the white line. This is going to create a bit of a reflection just to make it look more like water. So any of the horizontal lines you see that have room, add a bit of white and pull it straight down from that flat edge. And once we've done that, we're going to take a clean, dry fan brush and just go side to side horizontally where we put in the reflections, and it makes it look like water. Just very lightly, you don't want it to disappear. And if it's not mixing at all, just get your paintbrush a little bit wet. There you have it, you have reflections in your water. So I'm going to put even more reflections because it's a little too dark down there. So again, it's just titanium white pulling straight down and a clean dry brush going horizontally back and forth very lightly. Now we're taking titanium white on one side and black on the other side and just drag it through some very thin titanium white and midnight black. It creates the shadow on the closer trees is what we're highlighting right now, and gives them shadow at the same time. So one edge of my liner brush was dragged through white, and flip it over and drag through the black, and it creates shadow and a highlight at the same time. Now we're going to add some snow to the ground. It's a wintertime scene, I guess, and you just add white to where the top of the hill might be, or the top and the piece getting the most sunshine, and then it just gradually goes darker. Do that on both sides, and you're creating ground that way, and depth at the same time. I'm just adding a little bit more phthalo blue watered down to the water so that it will make reflections better. I want them to be a little bit lighter than I've got them, so I'm going to do it again. Now it's time to get brave. We're going to make a gigantic tree coming right down there. And we're using the same technique with white on one side and black on the other side. This time it's a flat brush. And all the way to the top. And it's not going to be blue because it's right up close to you, so you should be able to see a little bit more realistic detail. So far we have shading. The light hits one side and the other side is dark because that's how we put it on our brush. Now we're using the same technique with black on one side and white on the other, and we're going to go and put some little branches in so that it looks a little bit more realistically like trees. Now you can put as many branches or as few branches as you want. I'm not doing as many as I normally would just because it's a video, but take your time and make it exactly how you want it to. So we're just adding little branches, mostly on the closest one. You'll see the most detail. But there will be some back further in the forest too. Okay, so now that we've got all the detail on the trees done, we're going to go ahead and add some more ground to the foreground. And it's just going to be a kind of a white hill because it's snow, and we're going to put a bit of blue in it for shading. Again, that's phthalo blue. Just makes it have a shadow, basically. We're going to touch up the back ones again because my white paint kind of faded a little bit there. I didn't put enough paint on it apparently. So you can just touch it up if you want it brighter. And this is titanium white. It's already blue, so it's already got the shadow. And I'm putting in more reflection because I'm still not quite happy with how it looked. If yours is good, then just leave it. But I'm just putting a little bit more white in with the fan brush. I'm going to go back and forth with a little bit of blue on my brush just to keep it kind of matching everything else. Titanium white, just a little line around this piece of land to show that it's watered. Just kind of the edge where the water meets the land. And I'm adding a little bit more highlight here for contrast. It's going to be a bit brighter because you should be able to see it a little better because it's closer. So now I'm just re-adding blue to make those trees that I just made white look like they're further in the distance. You want the blue to be everywhere except for the snow and the tree in the foreground, so the further away trees all have to be blue. So this brush has black on one side, white on the other. Kind of cut off right now, but I'm just touching the canvas with the black on one side and white on the other to make rocks. So you can see these ones a little better. Your brush does all the work for you. You just got to make the shape of the rock you want or where you want the rocks. I think we're finished this painting, and I'm just going to sign it here using the same liner brush that I had to do the grass there that I'm just finishing up. And sign yours, and we are done. Beautiful painting.